Sword Art Online Alicization Lycoris, an upcoming video game, is toning down the explicit content in order to basically pander to the woke culture that's going around nowadays. This is not necessarily new news. You see, SAO was making waves in January a few months ago when the author and creator Reki Kawahara was stating that he was going to try and make the series more politically correct to, again, pander to the Western reactions. And I don't really like saying that because it's more so only the woke part of Western culture, which is really not a large group of people compared to other groups out there. They're just very vocal. So in this video, we will be talking about how Sword Art Online is allegedly bending the knee to this woke culture. It is truly unfortunate, but let's get into it. So we're going to do this video a little bit different than usual. We're going to take a look at a write-up from Bounding Into Comics and then One Angry Gamer, but the Bounding write-up for the new story, the One Angry Gamer is going to be the previous story from January. We're going to look at that later. But the new story with Bounding Into Comics, they did use an image on that write-up that is explicit and that I can't show on YouTube. So I'm going to show you screenshots instead, and that's the approach that we're going to take. So let's get started. And then also I do have a bunch of screenshots to show the character in the anime without the explicit part that I took. So I'll show you all about this character in question. You might be wondering what's going on, what character? And that is this character right here, this lovely lady known as the Administrator. Now, I have been watching SAO Alicization, but I'm on like episode 7. I don't know who the Administrator is until I read this article. A little bit of a spoiler, but not really because I don't know anything about the character. I just know that she's getting censored in the game allegedly. So the article titled Sword Art Online Alicization Lycoris will see its S content reduced to fit current times. Wonderful. It goes on to read, a new report indicates the upcoming Sword Art Online video game, Sword Art Online Alicization Lycoris, will likely have its S content reduced. Bandai Namco recently announced Sword Art Online Alicization Lycoris as a follow-up to the Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet. The report from VG Charts is based off a Japanese interview with producer Yosuke Futami and game director Satoru HeroHei. Hiraiya. That's a tough one, actually. Hiraiya, maybe. With Dengeki PlayStation Magazine. VG Charts summarized their decision about the reduction of S content in the game with this statement right here reading, S content will likely be reduced. Asked by Dengeki about co-sleeping events, a tradition in the series, the producer said it might be difficult in the current times and that players shouldn't expect too much about it. So, wow. So it's more than just censoring the Administrator as well. Apparently they're censoring these co-sleeping events, whatever that means. I guess it's like a little cutscene or something, a little sleeping event where the two characters are sleeping together, but that's too provocative. It's okay for the characters to be fighting and, you know, killing each other, but oh my goodness, if they sleep together, oh no, not okay. Jeez, man. Continuing on though, the report also revealed that the character called the Administrator, here we go, will be censored in the upcoming game. The character is normally portrayed without any gloves in the anime adaptation. Now that's pretty much true, but she does have some really weird shoe things. That's all I saw though. However, they use camera angles and her hair to keep certain areas from being revealed. The trailer for Sword Art Online Alicization Lycoris already shows her with clothes on. Here's what the Administrator looks like in the anime, and that's why I am doing this video this way without looking at the article itself, because that picture, again, very explicit, but it'll work out. Okay, let me just kind of take back and clarify what I just said. It's not very explicit. It's just too explicit to show on YouTube. So again, this is what she's going to look like in the game, apparently. Got all these clothes on. And take a look at some of these screenshots. So I obviously cropped out where you can see the stuff that YouTube doesn't want on the platform, which is understandable. To be fair, they have advertisers that probably don't want to have ads on that sort of thing. I get it, YouTube, I get it. So here we go. Here's one example. So again, video game censorship, her outfit in the video game. Now the actual outfit in the anime, boom, there you go. Another picture right here, you can see not wearing all that stuff like she has here. And I have more pictures, let's continue. There you go, you can see her there. And right here, you can definitely get a little more of an idea. And yeah, it's very obvious that this is getting censored. I mean, it's very apparent. Here's her fighting Kirito. Look at that. And looking kind of angry, like Satsuki a little bit from Kill la Kill. Giving me kind of that sort of vibe there. And I think we have one more picture, maybe. Ah, yes. So then here's another picture of the game. Again, from Bounding, it reads, and here's the trailer for Sword Art Online Alicization Lycoris, where you can see the administrator wearing a long draping dress. As you can see, massively different, massively censored. There's that same image, but a little bit more you can see there of the game, outfit game version. So let's finish up the article though. Goes on to read, the decision to put clothes on the administrator was in order to avoid receiving a 0D rating in Japan. According to Futami, 0D is recommended for players 17 years and up. Futami also noted that Bandai Namco would not accept a Sword Art Online game with a 0D rating. All other Sword Art Online games have received a 0C rating or less. This reduction in S content shouldn't surprise anyone given Sony's recent censorship policies surrounding PlayStation 4 games. On that note, I do want to mention something. A few of you have been asking me what I think about the Sony situation and asking me to cover it on my channel, and I think it's awful. I am not an advocate of that sort of censorship, as you guys should know about me, but the reason I haven't covered it on my channel is because, to be quite honest, given the nature of the content with that topic, I can't think of a good way to really cover that on the channel with how strict YouTube is. So I've been avoiding that, and I think there are other channels that have been covering it, so that's good. I think the info is out there. There are some people covering that censorship, but it's a topic that I don't think is the best thing for me to cover on the channel, but I'm still thinking about it. And I guess someone could argue, well, you're making a video about this topic right now that's kind of related to the same thing, you know, explicit content in video games getting censored. But the thing with Sony is, like, there's so many updates with that. This is one video I'm making on a similar topic. The Sony thing, it would be like video after video after video. There'd probably be a good 5 videos or so just on that alone. So that's why I'm trying to decide my approach, basically. But let's go back to the article. So continues on. A Japanese spokesman for the company indicated that games are looked at on an individual basis, and that Sony executives make the call on whether to censor a game. The spokesman specifically noted, if the game is excessively S, then they will look toward their global standard that will have an executive review the content in question, which is generally reserved for strict S content. This clarification of Sony's censorship policies came after Devil May Cry 5 and Dead or Alive Extreme 3. Scarlet saw their games censored. In fact, producer Kenshiro Takaki resigned from Marvelous Entertainment due to Sony censorship policy. Hey, good for him to stick up for what he thinks is right. Not only are censoring policies being enforced by Sony, but game devs are already embracing the idea of removing S-ness from their games. Most notably, Mortal Kombat 11 abandoned S-appeal for the sake of realness. What? In fact, Sword Art Online author Reki Kawahara also indicated he plans to adjust his upcoming Sword Art Online stories in order to have political correctness in mind. Oh no. Oh, absolutely awful to hear that. This came after he traveled overseas and received feedback from Western audiences. We need to let him know, guys. We need to let him know that he is pandering to a minority that's probably not even gonna buy his games or support it or even appreciate it. That's the thing. When you pander to these people, they will just find something else to complain to you about. For example, Catherine. I just covered this a few days ago or a week ago with Catherine, Full Body from Atlas. And Atlas allegedly is actually pandering to some of the woke outrage about the game. And you know what these people did when Atlas pandered to them? They complained more. They said it wasn't good enough. They said it wasn't good enough, and they're still mad at Atlas, and they're still not going to buy the game. This is a mistake, guys. Please, my friends, please thumbs this video up. Share this video. Help get the word out. We need to show Japan, we need to show these people that they should not pander to the woke culture because they're only going to hurt themselves. They're going to hurt us, of course, as well as the people that actually buy their products. They're going to hurt us because they're going to change the product to something that we don't want. And the people that they pander to aren't even supporting it. So they're going to get hurt. We're going to get hurt. And it's all else, man. We can't let that happen. Okay, now we're here at Bounding Into Comics. I want to finish this video off with the recap of the news from January. So a little refresher for you guys, or if you're not even aware of this, technically, I guess this is an update. So awesome. Let's get started. Right at the top, we already kind of covered this info. So let's get down to this segment right here. Reads, ANN, oh, gross. ANN did a quick and dirty rundown of the highlights from a very lengthy interview that Dengeki conducted with Reki Kawahara, the artist for the manga Bloom Into You, Neo Nakatani, and the voice actress from Alice from the anime Sword Art Online, A. Kayano. Near the very bottom of the interview, Kawahara and Nakatani begin to discuss the roles of heroes and heroines in manga and anime, after noting that some of Kawahara's influences from SAO included Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, and Ghost in the Shell. He went on to say that the girls in Sword Art Online would be more active in the future. Kawahara was then asked by voice actress Ai Kayano what were his reasons for changing the way the girls would be depicted in Sword Art Online, and he responded by saying, statement allegedly reading right here, "Due to the feedback from overseas events and fan reactions, perhaps it's time to grow or become more politically correct to some extent. Presently, overseas, the word hero and heroine aren't part of the dialect. Above all, protagonist and antagonist is more their style, completely unrelated to whether they're men or women. I felt that was the correct way of going about it. I tend to think that it's a distortion to treat the heroine like some sort of trophy. Recently, I've made a deliberately conscious decision to write the young females actively participating more in the story. So for those of you asking, well, what will become of Kirito? And I mean, suppose some people might think this is a supplement, but by no means does this mean that Kirito will no longer stand out. For the young girls, I want to give them the strength to take hold of their own lives." Oh boy. I mean, the last thing he says is not bad. Like, he wants to help young girls as well. Nothing wrong with that. But to like pander, like what is bad though is when he talks about pandering and overseas culture, because he is getting the wrong idea for sure about how many people in the West really support outrage culture and this wokeness. So that's what disturbs me. Nothing wrong about him, saying that he wants to help young girls have the strength to take hold of their own lives. As a matter of fact, I think that's a good thing. It's the other stuff, though. It's how skewed his vision of what the West really mostly wants, in terms of the target market that he's going for, which running a company, you want to have a target market. And I don't think the target market should be shifted to woke culture if he wants to make a smart business decision, but I digress. Let's continue and finish this up. It reads, Nakatani responded by saying that other than those who became captured or prisoners, all of the heroines in the show did battle and fought and showed a lot of independence and self-reliance. He stated that originally he wasn't entirely conscious of those nuances in portraying the genders that way, but over time he began bringing them into their own non-consciously. In a way, he had not been influenced by social justice warriors of the West. One would wonder how Sword Art Online would evolve organically, or in his own words, unconsciously, because now he's saying that due to the feedback from the loud minority in the West, he will attempt to make SAO more attuned to the political correctness that real anime fans and gamers have been decrying and fighting against since 2012. Jeez. I suppose that one R scene that aired during the last season of SAO could likely be the last time we see something like that if Kawahara is intent on pleasing the people who are pushing for more political correctness in entertainment media. Some anime fans worry we're seeing the metasizing of AnimeGate, as pointed out last year in a 5-part series by Sakura Anime News. And this is talking about AnimeGate on January 21st, right before the Vic stuff really kicked off. Like, if I recall, January 21st is when the allegations against Vic were starting to surface, like the more recent stuff, right? Not the nonsense on Tumblr that's been posted like years ago that they admitted is like 99% hearsay. I'm talking about like the more recent stuff with the articles on ANN and whatnot. This was right around then. So they're already talking about AnimeGate here, and then it just went, it got way crazier. Now, some people call it Weebor, some people call it AnimeGate, Anigate, but it's just interesting timing, isn't it? Well, that's about it for this video, my friends. If you enjoyed, please be sure that you are subscribed to this channel for more content like this and have the notification bell turned on as well so you can be aware of when said new content comes out. And feel free to leave a comment down below. That does help out, as well as, of course, showing me what your thoughts are. And I love to see what your thoughts and opinions are on all these topics we cover, because let's be honest, they are pretty dang interesting topics. And consider joining our Discord server, links below for that. And if you'd like to support this channel more directly, you can become a sponsor on Patreon, or you can donate one-time options through PayPal or Streamlabs and send a nice message that I can read out in a video as well. And sharing the videos also help greatly. On that note, I want to give some shout outs for the last video I made titled, Is Vic Screwed? Jamie Markey claims judges love her sense of humor and she's not worried. And we got 20 people who promoted that one, so big thanks to you guys. Shouts out to Demon Spawn, The Burning Magician, Jared Hayes, J Mewtwo, Mr. E, Mr. Anime, Dusk Wolf, Verthica Frostscale, Vibe Nation, Nick the Otaku, hashtag I Stand With Vic, John Edwards, Brandon Mayo, That Cynical Guy, Gardy Ken, Heather Dawn, Felix Hansen, Random Fandom, Avdel, Ali, and Paragon Langston of Amped Guard. Thank you all very much for your support, and I will be seeing you very soon in the next one. Peace.